breaking news, Nigerians. A new group called Save Democracy Mega Alliance 2027 has started a campaign to change Nigeria's constitution. The goal is to take away the president's power over the Independent National Electoral Commission (Inec) and to reduce governors' influence over state Independent Electoral Commission. The group says this change will protect elections and the judiciary from political interference. They propose giving the power to appoint electoral and judicial leaders to an independent body made up of non-partisan Nigerians. During a press conference in Abuja, the group spokesperson, Tony Akini, announced that this group will launch activities in all states. The campaign will end with a major event called a boot camp in the nation's capital. The coalition is focused on two key changes. One, stopping the president and governors from appointing key electoral and judicial officials. And this movement has gained the support of many leaders and organizations. Professor Patu Tomi, a well-known political economist, has backed this campaign. He described this as a vital step for Nigerian democracy. Utomi also referenced the Justice Electoral Reform Report, which recommended similar steps to prevent executive interference in election. Now, the SDMA 27 presented a three-step plan for their campaign. Firstly, they will build public support by involving political activities, religious, and civil society groups. Next, they aim to push for a national conference to discuss the constitutional changes. Finally, they plan to lobby the national and the state assemblies to pass these three reforms. Guys, this is commendable. The group warned that without these changes, the 2027 elections would face the same problems as in the past. So they have called on Nigerians to unite and take actions, quoting Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. to stress the importance of organized efforts. My country people, this is commendable. These are the kind of reforms that should be discussed in our National Assembly. These are the kind of bills that ought to be discussed in our National Assembly, not other irrelevant things like empowering the road safety people with guns, because they tend to come up with ridiculous ideas, ridiculous reforms that does not benefit the masses, that does not improve our economy or even the country's institutional, bodies. So at this point, this is a very commendable reform which we need. So Nigerians are being called to come together and join hands so that we can push this forward. I really hope the National Assembly will consider this. It is a good idea. If only the president, the governors, the senators, the House of Reps members will support this reform. If only they will support this reform. It is very commendable. It is a good idea, my country people. It is indeed a good idea. If this is implemented, this will destroy the president's power to appoint Inec chairman, judicial officials, and other, persons. Now, they said they are committed to rallying ethnic nationalities, socio-cultural organizations, organized labor leaders to join, to insist that the president should not have powers to appoint the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and judicial officers. This will help us in the long run. This is a call to Nigerians that they should join in this movement. They should join in this movement to save our democracy. This is a call to save our democracy. Because at this point, with the way things are going, if left unchecked, then our institution will be destroyed. The electoral institution will be totally destroyed. Currently, we know what they are doing. I mean, at this point, the president giving appointment to some persons, it's more like a selection. But if this is implemented, powers will be vested on a new body of non-partisan, integrity-tested Nigerians whose appointment process should be determined by character criteria, by integrity, by competency, what you have to offer, and not what you will do after. So my country people, they have called out to some persons, and they are reaching out to the 6 geopolitical zones, where they are calling out to pro-democracy organizations, activists in different parts of the country, and some persons have already endorsed this advocacy of the SDMA 27. Now, one of those is Professor Patutomi. We know Professor Patutomi, a professor of political economy and management. He hailed the goals of the alliance as the next good thing to happen to Nigeria after the return of civil rule in 1999. So Professor Utomi really, approved of it. According to Pat Utomi, amending the Nigerian constitution to divest the powers of the president on appointing Inec chairman and commissioners by insulating the commissions from the influence of the executive arm was one of the cardinal recommendations of Justice Uwis' electoral reform reports. So if this same amendment should apply to the Nigerian judiciary, which is vested with the function of post-election matters, then transferring these powers to a clearly neutral apolitical body of statesmen is long overdue. It is long overdue. So my country people, this is really commendable. This is what we need in our country. We saw what happened in Edo State. Take for example, how Wike's cousin was posted as REC, as the REC chairman of Inec, returning electoral commissioner of Inec, and we saw what happened. Even Obaseki himself was not allowed into the situation room. At some point, they took a break when they saw the PDP was winning, and when they came back, we saw what happened after. We saw what happened after. A political party getting more votes than the accredited voters in a particular polling unit. It can only happen in Nigeria. It can only happen in Nigeria, where a political party will be getting higher votes, more than accredited voters. So who are those persons that casted those votes? Who were those persons that casted those votes? In a polling unit where accredited voters will be 200, or let's say 2,000. A particular political unit will be having 3,000 votes. So where are the 1,000 persons that casted that vote? Where are they? It can only happen when presidents, governors elect, or when they appoint some particular persons. They are doing it to favor their paymasters. So my country people, this is what we need in Nigeria. This is what we need in Nigeria to protect our democracy. And I really hope that the House of Assembly, the Senate, will give this, will buy into this idea. I'm sure it will be unfavorable to them, but I really hope that some persons that have conscience will really endorse this, because it will help us in the long run. I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section.